Hello everyone, welcome to the fourth podcast of Ruang Lepas. Funny story is this my second attempt to record this podcast, and you know what? I just got a phone call from a company. I mean, like the what is it called, like the it's called Gojek, and it's kind of like Uber but Indonesian app. I mean, like I don't know. To be honest, I don't know if that's a scam or not, but it sounds like one because he just called me for 2 minutes and say that I will get what is called 5 million rupiahs, and he says that the Gojek sent a message in my message to me, and I I really got I really got it. I mean, like I don't know. It says Gojek, and I don't know if that's true or them of it is really them, the company Gojek or not. And I'm just scared. And I just says I'm sorry that I'm just saying that to the phone. I'm sorry that I'm not in my home right now, and I'm not if I can I'm busy and I cannot take any call now. And he just abruptly just stopped the just cut me out. I mean, like it's not that he cut me out, but he's not saying anything, and just he just I mean, like what he just put the he just got the phone. And I don't know. I think that's I'm pretty sure that that's a scam, but I don't know how they use the message that says Gojek. Maybe they know that Gojek send the message. I don't know. I mean, like in the end of the day, I think that's a scam, and I'm kind of proud myself to detect it to detect it. Uh, I mean, like almost instantly, because I'm I'm really anxious, and then I'm don't really I'm not I mean, I don't really trust anybody. And that's all. Okay, man, like, and it's sad, but that's happened. And you know what, that's that's just so funny for me when I'm in the middle of trying to record this podcast and something funny happened to me. But you know what? For the upcoming podcast that the matter that I will talk about is not something that it's not something that really happy. Really, it's kinda a turn from it's really far from the word happy and cheerful or anything. I mean, like you will hear will hear what I mean. And I don't know. It just so I just still cannot believe that that's happened. And that's I don't know is that nice or not, but who am I to be the judge? But okay, so first of all, I want to thank you for all of you that happened to stumble upon this podcast, and the other three. And I mean, not there's three podcasts that I already record in the past, but I'm sorry that I'm just I did not publish the third one till now. And I promise I will eventually. And maybe today or tomorrow. I don't know. I will see. But thank you for everyone that listened to that podcast. And I'm sorry if the quality is really bad, especially the second one. And I have to say that I'm not proud of it. And I just cannot bring myself to scrap it anyway. So there it goes. Nothing can happen. And I mean, not that nothing can happen. I mean, something maybe will happen, but there's that. And there will be shame in my time. And will I think nobody will got it anyway, because I'm not publishing it. Or I mean, I do not give any what is it called any news of it from my Instagram account. So yeah, that sucks, and that's it. That well, that's all it gets for the second one. And from the two or three, if I have to say, podcast that I have done in the past, I found that it's easier for me. I mean, like, I think the better podcast is the one when I talk about myself. I mean, like, when I talk about you and talk about my personal feelings. I mean, I'm personal problems and everything behind. I mean, like, everything that happened to me personally, and something that I can talk more and become more. I don't know. Maybe the flow become better, because in the second one I found myself lost in some way, and I don't know. I'm trying a lot of new things, and I will always trying to be better, and we will see how it goes. And for today podcast, the thing that maybe not just today podcast, maybe for the upcoming podcast, maybe more, one or two more. I don't know. I never know how many more that I will make, but I'm pretty sure most of them maybe will talk about something that maybe not heavy. I mean, like, maybe I will talk about some heavy stuff, and maybe uncomfortable for some of you, and to be honest, maybe really well, to be honest, it's really uncomfortable. How the fuck that I cannot say that word? Uncomfortable for me as well. But I'm just trying to let it out. I mean, like, I don't have anyone to talk about. I mean, like, I don't have not talk about, but talk to. I don't have any friends to talk to about this matter. But and even if I have somebody to talk to, I don't think this kind of matter I can talk to them easily, because I felt like this is too heavy for someone, or maybe in my circle, to handle, even for myself. And I'm like, I don't know how this, I don't know how or why I do when I cannot talk to a real person to talk about this matter. But instead of just shut up and just keeping it for myself, I just decide to share it out on the internet, where everybody can listen and judge you for how dumb you are. But it's a chance that I take. Then I think, I don't know, maybe because I don't reveal any of my identity, being anonymous and stuff, I feel more comfortable talking about this. But well, that's my excuse for the upcoming depressing stuff that I'll say. And I think I spent too much stuff on this intro, and let's just begin, shall we? Okay, for today's podcast, the big theme, or the title that I will use to describe it, maybe not to describe, I mean, like, to summarize it in one sentence, is uh living without no goals. Wait a second, I just realized that it is reduction. I mean, like, maybe the better title is living without goals. And I will wait a second. uh and by saying this, I have to say that I'm not magician. I mean, like, I'm not a fortune teller that can predict how life is going and unfold itself. But it is just an assumption, or anything that I I just predict that how my life will go if the situation that I live in right now hasn't doesn't change or anything. And prepare yourself for some depressing stuff, because it is coming. And And I don't know. I talk about my family and all my issues in the first podcast, and I try to. I try to. Well, the goal that I do that first podcast is just to make a peace with it, make a peace with my problems that happened in 2017, and that's about it. I'm not, I don't want to think more about that, and I just hope that it will not will go, but just is it ways with me, and apparently, and it's not apparently. How the hell that when, how the hell can say that when like it is not magic, or it is not something that problems not something that I can just make a podcast about and share it on the internet and it will just go away. It's not, and it is something that it will touch, not mentally, not just mentally, but it is a physically challenge that we have to face, and that sucks, and that's something that still bothering me to this day, if not be worse than I ever hoped. But I don't know, it just uh I don't know it. Well, I have to say that that problems that I talk in the first podcast might be the one that shaped me to me on this podcast, where that which I will talk more about later. But not later, and I will talk more in this podcast about why I don't know. I seems doesn't have any goals in my life anymore, and I don't know. That's about it. Like, if you they haven't if you haven't heard the first podcast, and you're wondering what is the problems that happen in my family, especially in 2017, and basically the summarize is my father is ill, and his illness is not something that we can cure, and it will just go downhill from here till the end of the day. I don't want to say, okay, fine. I don't want to say anything more that it will just be sadder than I ever anticipated. But that's my father, and my mom will always be her, and do what she wants. And like, not like the you go girl, you go for what you want. Not like that. Like, well, I will talk about I will touch this matter with my mom in my point. So I'm just saying this. She will just do whatever she want, and that's it. And my both of my parents will still fight, and they might be felt. I don't know if they will be feeling a divorce case or not, and I don't know, maybe that's the future for us, and there it goes about it. I don't know it will happen or not, and at this point I don't think it will make a I don't know, maybe it will make things more worse. But let's be honest, I'm not saying I'm prepared for it, but I just know it's coming or not. Like, I'm just ready for it to come. So yeah, that sucks. So yeah, and for me, I'm still broke and still haven't got any job or just an internship position, and you know just doing what I can. What the fuck is that what the fuck did I just say? Like, I'm just doing what I can, and I'm just kinda building this blog, the Instagram, and just building Long Lepas as something that maybe I don't know, something that might be big in future. I don't know. We have to start somewhere, and I don't know. I'm just starting it now, so we'll see. And that's basically what happened in till now. And I don't know if we we will see a change in distant future or near future. So yeah. Okay. Before I talk about how I live, or what I mean, like how will I'm living this day without no goals. I have to state, not to state, but I have to describe to you what is the goals that I mean in this podcast, or I mean like in general image that I'm trying to picture. What the fuck did I the sentence? But I mean like, and I'm just trying to describe to you what the goals that I'm talking about, and that's it. How the hell that sentence is so difficult to say. Okay, the goals that I want to mention is the goals that it's become it's the everybody's goal. I mean, like, not everybody's, but the common goal for somebody in their life, in one point of their life. And that goal is to get married, to have a kids, to have a family, and basically just settle in and become the part of society, become part of a society. And I don't want any of that. Then that's the problems begin. Not the begins, but that's where that's our podcast begin. And the the real of it, I mean like the real of it, I mean like I don't have the kinda like I don't have the common goal that everybody seems to have. And maybe you will ask, why don't I don't search for a goal to achieve. If I mean like you can, I mean like, to not settle in, to not get married, or to have kids, it is uncommon. I think it is uncommon, but it is not something that not that difficult to live on. I think, I don't know, I mean like, I just want to say that I I can to I can just find another goal, like just explore the world and see what stuff in it, and do this or do that. But I don't know. I just don't really want it anything. I don't know. Maybe I will touch about it, but I just I don't know. In this point, I don't really want to. I mean, like, in my life right now, I don't really seek that, and I think I will describe it more, talk about it more in my point. I think I mean like I hope, but the I will start with the first point, which will state that the thing that maybe the main reason why I don't have any goals. If I have to say, I don't have any goals or that common goals, is because I don't have, like, I don't want to get sad. I think I don't really mention that, but you know, yeah, well, yes, now you know that the whole reason why I seems don't have any goal to live is because I don't want to have two kids. And I will explain to you in in a second. Well, okay, so you know that I don't want to have kids, and that's mean I don't want to become a mom. The reason is simple, is simply because I don't trust myself to become one. And I don't know if you are wondering why that happened, and how the hell that came in. Let me tell you, there's a lot. I don't know if it is complex or not, but there is a lot more. Not a lot more. I mean, like, it is not something that came up to me just at one day. Okay, just one day when I woke up that okay, I'm not want to do, I don't want to have any kids anymore, and that's not it. I mean, like, it is a process that I gone through, and it is kind of a tough one, if I have to say. I don't know if this tough or not, and I don't know if I will recall it in this while I'm talking, because God, at that sentence when I'm trying to think of something while talking in the same time, it messing up. So not gonna do that. Sorry. But the reason why I don't want to become a mom simply because I already said that I don't really trust myself. Simply because I don't think I have a great image or like a great example how a mom should be, and there's a lot going on behind that, and it is something that I don't know if this common for everybody to have, but you know, I don't know. Here's the thing though. My family is kinda odd in some way, and we are not the nicest, the warmest family, in not even in the slightest bit. But and there's also several fights between me and my mom, and it's kind of still happening, and I don't know. It just goes on and on, and there's a lot of occasion that I and my mom stop talking to each other and for months, and I don't know what makes us talk to I don't know what makes us to talk to each other again, and I don't know, they just they just happen. I don't know, and there's also a lot of issues that I have with my mom, and that cost me, and I mean, like, that's cost me, of course, obviously it cost me troubles, like, and in the end it resulted in me with it results in me and my mom have fights, and we don't talk to each other for a long time, and there's that, and there's still some that I keep for myself that I don't think I can talk to her, and in the end of the day that I can, after all of that issues or all of that problems, I came to one statement or one judgment that I knew that my mom is not the best mom, or even if I have to say she's a bad mom, and I know that when I said that word or that giving that judgment, I knew that I sounds ungrateful, because here's the thing. I knew that I I can be here or on the in this point of my life is also because of her, but it I mean, like, it is because of her giving birth to me, and and anything that, and I mean, like, well, you know, the usual things that everybody says when a kid is not is ungrateful for the parents, is because they always say you have to what is called, you have to be kind or be, I don't know, I be kind to your mom or to your parents, because they are the one who will bring you to this world, and they are the one who teach you. I mean, like, they're nurture you to become a human being, but in the process there's a lot of, I don't know how to say this, but I think this kind of going out of the topic for this podcast, but all of I want to say that just because that, well, yes, my mom is the one who nurtured, who gave me birth to me, and who take care of me to let me to become at this to become a human being, and can be in this point of my life. But that doesn't mean that she's the best, or I cannot say anything to her, and I cannot critique her. Let's just say that. I mean, like, and and that doesn't make that she's always true or always the correct one, and I'm always the one who falls, and that's about it. And I don't think that in my case, when I said in when I said that my mom is a bad mom, maybe that's, I don't know, maybe that's, I don't know, it's really hard for me to say that maybe she will change or not, because I'm not convinced that things will, yeah, well, I mean, I'm not convinced that thing will change, that, I mean, like the a whole 180 degrees at this point, and things just will just, like, as I said, it will just downhill from here and on. and and there's a lot of point, maybe not a lot, but there's some point that I will, here's the thing though, and after this point, I mean, after this second or what I want to do is to prove to you why my mom is not a great mom or even a bad mom. And I knew that it is not something that everybody can say and everybody can agree to, but please hear me out. So give me a chance why this is problem, and maybe after you hear this my explanation or my point of view, and I don't know, maybe just why my side, you can, maybe you can help me to figure this out, because I don't know, this just me talking, because as I said, my family is not a warm family, and that we can talk to each other that often. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's just me and my mom and it maybe just me, I don't know, maybe just me that being the outcast of my family, and that's about it. I don't know. Okay, fine. Let's just get started. The most recent, maybe not the most recent, but the biggest point that I can take, or maybe I can give to you why my mom is not a bad mom, because it's simply because how she acts. I mean, like, in particular, like how she acts toward us, towards my father, toward me and my sister, maybe towards me and my sister. How she acts when in, how the hell I'm supposed to do this? I mean, like, how she acts in some situation is kinda I just kinda don't get it. I mean, like I said, in 2017 is not a great year for us. Well, yes, not for us, my own family, my little family, and also for her side of family. I mean, like, from my mom big family, it is also not a great family, because unfortunately I don't really know about my father's side, big family, because not for some reason. I mean, like, guys, you guys don't know this, but there's some some reason or some explanation that I cannot give you to you now, because I just cannot I just cannot talk about it. And yeah, well, there's a lot of reason, because, but please bear with me. But back to what I said, I mean, like, we don't I especially I don't really know about my family, my dad's family, big family, how, I mean, like, I don't really know their problems, even their condition. I mean, all I know is they're rich and they're great, always in a great condition. I think, I don't know, that's how distant we are, and that's unfortunate. And I don't know, we will I don't know if we will find out or what, but that's just how things goes. But for 10 till 10 from 2017, I mean, like, that, well, 2017 is maybe one of the biggest hurdle that all of us collectively face. And when there's time that when my father just got diagnosed with his illness, then, and there's also, and nearing that time, I mean like at maybe at the assembly, I mean like near time when my father diagnosed by that illness, I mean like by stroke. He got a stroke, but it is still an early stage. But in the same time, and at the same time when that happened, my mom big brothers, one of his big brothers also diagnosed with lung cancer, and it is on the fourth stadium, if I'm not saying. And I have to say this, but that's 2017, and in 2018, I mean like in this date of recording of the podcast, I knew that uh his my uncles, my third, I mean like third uncle from my mother's side, is become worse. And I hope that, I don't know, I just hope things get better, and that's about it. But at that time when my dad diagnosed by the illness, and her brothers, my mom's brother, also diagnosed with cancer. And I don't know, I at that point I cannot believe that she chose to leave our our home to visit his brother. Just, I mean like she chose her to take care of his brother more than to take care of my dad. I don't know if she thinks that because my my father's illness is still on early stage, and she have to go to visit his brother or her brother or not, or what. I just cannot, simply because I just cannot believe how can how can she leave us when I mean like it is big for us. I mean like I talk about this matter in first podcast, and the fact that my dad get diagnosed with stroke is something that I cannot think of. And it is big for us because my dad still adjusting, and let's just say that adjusting to his new, I don't know, to his new pattern of life. I don't know how to say that. But the fact that she's not the fact that she's the fact that she's choosing to leave our home to go back to her home country, not home country, hometown, and take care of him. I just don't get it. I just feel, I knew that at that time I feel angry and stuff, but you know, that's happened. And if I have to say, and now I have to say this, she's out of town again to see his brother. But I don't know, I'm kinda get it. I mean, not kinda get it. I mean, for this trip, for this, well, let's just say for this trip, I can accept for this trip when she choose to go to her hometown to visit her brothers and stuff. And because I knew that it is, let's just say, maybe it is the last time that she will see him. And you know, it's kind of sad, and that's happened. And well, that's one thing. I mean, that's one thing why I think my mom is not a great mom. And I don't know, the fact that I knew that I repeat this whole words all over one after another, because this is my one point. Because I felt like she never, I don't know, in the past, or else, I mean like she always choose, she never makes our family to be her priority, and that saddened me a lot. And in the end of the day, I knew that I don't have a great image of how a mom should be. I mean, like, I knew how a bad mom, how I knew how a criteria of a bad mom that my own mother showed to me, but and that's mean that I do have an image. What should I not? What should I should not do to my kids later if I decide to have one. And but with just knowing what I did not have, I cannot do. It's not enough for me, because let's be honest, I'm scared for if someday that when my instinct kick in, like, this is all of this is just a theory. The fact that I knew how I should not do this or should not do that, it is all just a theory in my head, and I'm afraid that when that theory goes out of the window and my instinct again, and my instinct that I do believe that and no, like, by the instinct that I'm saying is that I I become like my mother. Like, I become like how she used to raise me and my sister. Like, that's not nice. And then I don't know. I just felt like I just really the one thing that I really don't want to be I the one thing that I really don't want that my kids to experience is how I'm being raised. And I don't know, I'm just that's just how that's maybe just how I feel, and just what I'm scared of. But like, I think that's about it. And like, not that's about it. Like, the fact that I'm afraid of my instinct to kick in. I'm afraid that that instinct is the way that my mom used to raise me. It's kinda odd. And not kinda, it's not really nice. But and like, that's the big thing. And why I say that how my mom raised me. Like, maybe I make this point seems a lot harsh that maybe you anticipated. I don't know. And by the things that I am saying, that how I raise, I think it's not really different from the other kids. Maybe in the 90s. I'm not saying I'm not I didn't really know that if I'm count as a 90s kids, because I am born in the 96 year. But I don't know, um here's the thing. The way that by saying the way that I'm raised, I'm saying about a kids that in my age, or in that era, how they're being raised. And by saying this, like, I'm being raised by a lot of beatings and yelling and being scolded, and I hate it so much that it's make a vow to not to do that to my kids, because I don't really like being yelled or scolded, and I don't want that, because I believe that to tell a kids to do something, to teach a kids that, like, I believe that there's another way to teach a kids to become a better human being. And like, even if just to become just become like me, I do believe that there's a lot of ways. And the way that my mom and maybe the other mom choose is not right. It's not the right one. And and that's about it. But that's that point, that the fact that I knew that there's another way of teaching, still not enough to convince me to have a kids of my own. And and that's sad, and that's happened. Oh, sorry, I just burped, but I don't really want to do that. Okay, by saying that, I said before about how the others mom, how others mom maybe have a same way of teaching like my mom, because how, I mean, like, I want to talk about how did I kinda assume how maybe a lot of people raised the same way as me, because um here's the thing. There's a meme that goes around for some times, and the meme is, I'm not I will here's the thing. I will not define to you a meme is. I mean, like, well, I'm not trying to give you the definition of a meme and what that is all about. Basically, it is just a picture. For fuck's sake, I just did. Alright. Basically, what I want to say is there's a lot of picture going on the internet, and there's in that picture we can see a broom, a sandal, maybe or a belt, and or maybe a hanger, like the cloth hanger. I mean like the cloth hanger that you use to hang the clothes. For fuck's sake, yeah. For fuck's sake, I'm not great in it, and I mean, like, there's a lot of things. I mean, like, I'm not saying anything, but there's a lot of things like what I said, and I'm not saying that what they used to, but and there's on the top of that things, there's a title, or I mean a sentence. 19 kids will remember, and when we see that, picture, somehow we knew what that stuff being done to us, because let's be real, all four or some of all of that stuff did not have anything common, that they don't have any common usage. Let's just say that common usage for all of them. But we knew for context clues, not from context. I mean, we knew that what for that stuff, that objects is useful, and we knew that all of it's thing that parents used to beat their kids with. And the fact that many people knew that many people shared the same experience, it's really sad, I have to say. And the fact that we we grew up in kind of like a violence way, let's just say, and we all have shared the same memories, unfortunately a bad one. And I do know, I mean, like, I do believe that all of us had it. I mean, like, well, except for you who have masochist or anything. I mean, like, that's your fetish or anything. But I do believe that that's experience or that memory is not pleasant. And there's a lot. I don't know if in other countries, but in Indonesia there's a lot of news that's going on about how about parents that suing their schools or their teacher for beating their, not beating, and I mean, like, not even beating their kids, but there's punishing them, just simply just punishing them, and I mean, like, no, I mean, like, the fact that the parents suing the teachers, and it makes there's a lot of news there's a lot of news going on for that subject. It's kind of make me believe that all of us that grew up, I do believe that the parents that's showing that teacher is they are raised by, I don't know, it will sound like it is a strange assumption. It's a strange logic, but it is let me say that it is just my assumption that parents that's showing the teachers for punishing their kids is there might be the same kids that being raised in a balanced way, and the fact that they hated that balanced way so much that it 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 make them show goes all the way to show their to show the teacher for doing not even close to the how they are raised, but you know, I mean like that's my logic. That's my logic, but that's just my assumption. You know what? I will stop talking about that news because I don't. Here's the thing. Let me just say, I'm not taking any sides for now, and I'm not taking sides for anybody on that news, and because I do believe that I will have to think a lot more about this matter, and this is not the matter that I will talk about in this podcast. And I don't know if I want to bring it up in another podcast or blog post, but I'm just saying that we all have, not we all, that some of us have this this way of being raised, how we being raised, and how much that we hate it. And that's just what I want to say. Then I will just stop right there with that news and stuff, and back to the point. What I want to say is I just hate how I being raised, because like I said, I knew that there's first that I knew that there's another way, or maybe just a much more peaceful way to teach a kid how to behave, how kids to become this or that. And you know, the fact that I hate it so much that I don't want my kids to relive my that way of living. And that just how, but I mean like, for me that's just how bad it is, and that's about it. I mean like, if one day I'm become a mom, and I'm just, I don't know, I stated already that if one day I ever become a mom, which will not happen at this point, and maybe even if it will never happen, and I will try to teach my kid without beating them or not punishing them, because some punish well, punishment is not really, it doesn't really have to do physically or anything, but there's a lot of punishment that we can think of. But you know, I mean like, even without beating or even being mad at them, and not scolding them or yelling at them, and that's the way how I want to raise my kids. If I have one. But I knew that it sounds crazy, or maybe because it seems too perfect for me, but that's just how I feel. That's just how I feel, like being the fact that I'm being scolded and yelled at so much. I mean like, I don't know, the fact that I'm being scolded and yelled, it's I don't know if that's run in my family or what, but the fact that we interact, I mean like, when in our daily interaction, it's it's kind of odd, yeah, if I have to say. I mean like, by yelling and scolding each other that's that's how we interact with each other, and that's not great. Yeah, if I'm being honest, but that's just how bad it is, and I don't know. Like I said, it is just a theory, and I'm afraid that it is just a theory in my head, and I'm afraid that it will just go away. It is just goes away, and I'm back to the beating way anyway, and I don't want that. So yeah, that's my first point, and I think I don't know if that's enough, but to, that's just how it is. I don't want to. I mean, that's just how it is, and that's my first point. And while talking about my first point, I do realize one more thing that might be become not become, but maybe is the whole the bigger reason, or I mean like the bigger. I mean like it is the cause why I think my mom failed me. Let's just say that, and I just realized that I mean like while being raised, and I'm like how the hell I supposed to do this, but to this day I felt like my mom doesn't love me. Let's just say that I just don't feel any love coming from her, and that's about it. I mean like I don't know. I mean this is the third time that I will mention this matter, but there's things that happen in the past, and I think that that's the reason why my family being so broken to this day, and that's one thing that's for me explain everything, that why my family works in this way, and I don't know how to feel about that, and I don't know. It is, guys, this is such a heavy matter for me to think about, and I don't think I will ever can or strong enough to share this, because this just too much. Because if there's a puzzle, or I mean like I don't know what my logic is, but if there's some some something, or I mean there's a lot of ways, there's a lot of ways, or there's a lot of line, this will be the center of it, and this will be the one that tied all of us, tied all of things to become one. And I just don't really, I don't believe that how this happened, and that's about it. And I mean like I cannot say more than that, because I'm not hyping it, because let's be honest, I'm really being honest with you, I'm not hyping it for my upcoming podcast, because like I said, I'm not brave enough or strong enough to talk about this yet, or maybe ever. And yeah, so this really messed me up, and I don't know. Okay, fine. Back to the point where I not feeling any love from my mom. Here's the thing though. While growing up, I do feel like I mean like I noticed that my family is really odd, because well when we see a projection, or I mean a image of how not how a family should be, but how a family interacts with each other, and how the not only how the media showed us how a family works, or I mean like how a family is. I mean like every family in media, or maybe in my other than mine, seem warmer than my own. But I knew that this is not true, that I knew that there's also, I knew that there's there's also maybe somebody or someone that share the same thing with me, or even they don't even have family to talk about. And I knew that it will, I mean, like, there will be that one jerk that say that, oh yes, I'm grateful, how you still have to, at least you still have the family to talk about. And there's another orphan, there's a lot of orphan out there that don't have any family to talk about, and you should be grateful for that. I mean, like, there's that guy that always talk, that always make us feel bad when we already end at, maybe at the lowest point. I mean, like, we are already, I'm already this belief about what happened. I'm still this, I still being this burden, or maybe still feel a little sad about my family. But the fact that I knew that there's others that may or may not feel worse than me. But I mean, like, the point that I'm the point that I do this podcast is to relieve some of my burden, some of my thought, what the some of my point of view, and to feel to feel more happy, and to to be more cheerful about my life. And why it, when when somebody to say that things to me, feel like, why the hell that I cannot feel happy about anything. I mean, I know that our world or our life is not, there's a lot of injustice in this world. But why cannot I pursue just a little bit happiness by saying that what I felt, right? Well, I don't know if you get my point, but that's one point. But what I want to say is that if we see, or I mean, like, the common family portrait that we can see is, there's seems so lovingly, and says they talk to each other, and there's just love in there. And I don't find any of in mine. But and I cannot help myself to feel jealous of others, even for the fictional family. And and there's there's time, I mean, like, there's time that when I'm growing up, I'm thinking to myself, why am I never recall any moment when my parents hug me? Because I never I cannot remember the time that being hugged by my mom or my dad or somebody. I mean, like, and at this point, to this point of my life, it I mean, like, not this point, I mean, like, at I mean, like, I'm thinking about that while growing up, and till, let's just say, till college. I'm not till college, I mean, like, till the second year of my high school. I feel really awkward, or I feel really strange about hugging others and stuff. And when I'm in the second year of my high school, I don't know, I got to this, I don't know how the nation, not the national, but the public school, that I think that the words, but that I searched, the public school where there's a lot of, how do I say this, I don't know, I mean, like, in only in that public school that I'm just being hugged by someone. I mean, like, being hugged by my friends, or my, no, well, just my friend, 'cause I never have a boyfriend. But I'm like, I'm being acquainted to this hugging scenario, let's just say this, that's hugging things. And it become more common to me while in the college life, because I don't know, most of my friends, they really hug each other. And not, I mean, like, not romantically, but just I mean like they're I do believe that they're showing care. They showing their care for me and for their I mean they're showing that they care for others, and by hugging, and it's become more common for me, that's that's really odd. Alright. I mean like I don't know if I'm wrong or right, but the fact that hugging, just simply by hugging, not just simply by hugging, or what or else, but I mean like just simply by hugging being common, just being common only when I'm in college, isn't it real late? I mean like shouldn't it be more happen more often my while I grow up? And I don't know. And the fact that I cannot recall any any moment or any memories of my mom or my dad hugging me or hold me, and that's kind of messed me up, because the only time that I remember being hugged so lovingly is by my brother, when he's on, I don't remember correctly, but maybe in his eyes is middle school or high school, I don't remember. And that's happened long ago, because my brothers, that the same one, I mean like I only have one brother, and my brother that hugged me, and with my sister, I mean like he hugged both of us. I remember that it's so lovingly. And now I know he's married. I mean, he's just get married. I mean, like you can count. I mean, like there's a gap, a big gap between that time and now, and the fact that I just remember one moment, one hugging moment from my family. I mean, like a genuine hug, but I knew that I hug my dad when there's an event in my nearing my temple. I mean like in an event, and I knew that I that hug is kind of forced and kinda odd, and so I don't really count it. I mean like the genuine hug from the genuine hug that I can count is that only time when my brothers hug me and my sister, and that's just it. And you know what? I found out why the reason why there's not there's none. I mean like there's that I mean like that I'm stumbling a lot on this point, because yeah, it's sensitive and I cannot really bring myself to talk about this. But well, not that you know what, there's a reason why I cannot there's a reason why I did not get many hug, or even being held by mama and my dad. And you know what, how I know this this reason behind all of this. It is being spilled by my mom with her own mouth. And you know what, it is not because I asked her why she never held me. And it is not when well, I never asked her, I never mentioned this to her. And there's one day that it just being spilled, and the way that it is being spilled make me mad. It make me furious, if I have to say, because that fights that my dad and my mom have to deal to this day, and begin while after my mom after my mom here's the thing. I don't know if I ever mentioned this or in my first podcast, but I think I mentioned this, but for summary, for just be quick, I would just wanted to be quick with this this case or this plot. Let's just say that that's such a bad word, but okay, fine. Here's the thing. My sister used to have used to live on her or on my mom on my mom hometown in my hometown, and when she lived there and when she have my sister have to live out of home to live in another town, and to help her to adjust or to adapt to her new city. My mom to have to go with her, and and for months my mom have to go to her hometown, and when she's there she's trying to connect with, I don't know the exact thing what happens, but maybe this just much assumptions, but here it goes. My mom, maybe because she's not doing much thing about, I mean, like, not doing so many things there. She's trying to connect with her schoolmates, which is I have to say my mom did not finish her school. She even did not finish her primary school, which it I mean, like, it shows how small her schoolmates circle are, and I think she's trying to reconnect I mean, like, trying to reconnect with her schoolmates, just maybe, I don't know, maybe to relive her memories or anything. I mean, like, I here's the thing. I can get behind that reason why while trying to find her schoolmates that still live in her hometown, and trying to what it's called, to relive her memories, or else. I mean, like, I can get that, but I just cannot get it why she can spill. I mean, like, here's the thing. I think I'm jumping a lot of point, but here's the thing. I mean, like, all of what I said to this the point is, my sister is going to another town, and she have to go with my mom's, and my mom's go trying to reconnect with with her, not her family, I mean, like, her schoolmates, and she's trying to relive her memories, and that's about it, I think. And I mean, like, I think she found some of her friends, and I think she's found some of her friends, and and I don't know. I mean, like, while my sister stayed in that town for almost a year, but my mom just accompanied her maybe for 3 months and or less. I don't remember, but when she come home to our town right now, I mean, when she comes home, and this happened while my sister still gone, still live in that town, in my mother's hometown, and so it is just three of us. I mean, like, my brother is not living with us anymore, and his I mean, like, he's just living himself, I think. And I don't know, they just live the three of us, and I'm not that type of a girl that spend a lot of time outside and by playing around and stuff. I don't know, I don't really recall the words, but I'm saying that I spend most of my time being at home and on the internet, and when my mom come home from just got home for, I don't know for how long, because I don't remember for how long, but here's the thing. after reconnecting with her friends, some of them still contacting her to this day. I don't know to this day. I mean, like, my point is, some of my her friend is contacting with her, and there's there is one or two, maybe. I think there's one that always, I don't know why, there's one that's I don't know, talk to her. I mean, like, I talk to her every day, and in one day my mom will be on phone for several times with the same person, and that person is a guy. I don't know if that guy is her ex-boyfriend or anything, or her I don't know I don't know their their relationship before she's new with us, but all I know is all I know is that man is still. I do believe that man have his family, and he even have a grandchildren. I don't know if I don't know. Like, there's friends, and the fact that like, I don't know if if before my mom goes home. Like, before my sister goes to live in another city, my mom already contacting this guy. But when she's home after a while, my sister is still gone, she's talking to this man on phone is too many times for me. Like, it becomes frequent for them to talk through phone. Like, like, their talks. Like, it's become frequent too many times for me for too much for me to handle, to feel not being disturbed by them. Here's the thing though, the fact that like, I'm being disturbed by them, I'm not really. Like, they talk a lot of times, and most of the time at first I don't really care about what they're talking. Like, even because like, because I am using my headphones and being busy, and doing the internet stuff. Like, that's at first how it goes, but it goes for too long for me to not paying attention. Like, here's the thing though, I don't know if my mom is that stupid or what, but I just don't get it. How can she talking about such sensitive things to somebody that may or may not you just met? Like, I knew that they knew for a long time. Like, maybe they're friends, but here's the thing, it's her friend in her high school. Not, I'm sorry, but it's not her friend, it's primary school, and she's not even finishing it. You know how long it will that time is past, and I don't know if that guy is really close to my mom or what, but the fact that she can talk about such sensitive thing to him, and by sensitive I mean, like, not naughty things like you think of, but I think she will. I don't know if my mom will be that stupid to talk about something that's trivial for me to hear, because here's the thing, my house is really small, and I can hear everything my mom's talk to in phone, because you know why I can know what my mom is talking, because first she's talking so loudly, and second, sometimes she put it on speaker, and there's also a lot of time that she talks right beside my right behind me, and like, we are in the same room, and she's talking to this guy about such a sensitive thing, and And that's how I knew about the I mean like how that's how I knew the reasons why she never helped me, or my sister. I mean like the fact that she never helped his kids. The reason behind why she never helped his kids, I knew it from her by saying that to him. I mean to that guy. And the way she say, my mom saying that, I just cannot get how annoying. I mean like she said it like so proudly. I mean like I I just don't get it why she's being so normal about it, while me on the other hand I just figuring out what's happened. And that just seems absurd to me. And I don't know, that just seems, I just I felt like I should never know about this. But the fact that I knew about this so easily, but and being bring up by my mom so easily to her friend. And I just don't get it. I just don't. That's where I don't know. I don't know how will you feel about that situation. I mean like I just till this day I just cannot believe how easy she can say that, and how proud she can say that. I mean like, you know what, I I said that I said that my mom is not a great mom, even a bad mom. And in another hand, she felt like she's a great mom. Because why? Because she believes that she can teach her kids well. I knew that. I remember that she saying that she's maybe she might be not finishing her school or what, but hey, at least I can teach my kid what one or two things. And that's enough. And I just, what, there's a lot of conversation that that conversation, but between my mom and that guy, that holds a lot of my family secret. I just say that. And I just cannot get it, how easy that she say that without. And I don't know. I mean like she's saying, I think I would know why she told that story to that man. Well, I mean like, they haven't met for such a long time, they haven't talked for such a long time. Of course there's a lot of things that they need to catch up with. But the fact that she said that many secrets, that I should never run out through phone to a man that I don't know, that true man that that she, I don't know. I mean like, it's just so stupid to me, for me. And I don't know. That's that goes my mom. Maybe we can give props to her. And I don't know. And you know the funny thing is, on that time, that when she said that she never helped us, because oh, okay, I forgot to tell you guys why, the reason why she never helped us. You know why she never helped us? It is simply because she doesn't want to. Well, it's, if I remember correctly, because she said that the reason why we never hold her, she never hold us or anything, is simply that she's, it's simply because she doesn't want to do that. And and I don't know, when she doesn't want to hold us, when we talk, maybe when we walk to some places. I mean like, when we walk to, I mean like, when a family have a family trip or anything, there's always some there's I mean, like in a movie or anything, when a whole family walks together, have a picnic, there feels a scene where a dad or the mom holding their kids or their babies, and the fact that my mom doesn't want to do that, and who do you think who the one who will hurt us? It is my dad that hurt us, and the fact that I don't even recall any memories that being hurt by my dad. It's I don't know what I don't know why that I did never have any memories why when my dad hurt us. I don't know if it also did not happen really often, or even, or maybe it's vice versa. I mean, like it happens too fucking many times that it becomes such a normal thing for me, and I just forget all of it, and I don't know. That's just how it goes. I mean, like I don't know. I I knew that being hurt or being hugged by simply being hugged or by being hugged is not the only way to show you love somebody, but I don't know. The I maybe in the world, I don't say it about our interaction in my. I mean, like eh, how we talk to each other is really odd. I mean, like I don't know if this my family's it is runs in my family, but we talk kinda like in a yelling voice. If I have to say it, we talk really loud, and we really, it seems maybe we sound really angry all the time, and if we sound really I mean, like if we sound really angry every time we talk, and I don't know, that's mean that every time we talk to each other, I just felt like being yelled at, and I had that feeling. I mean, like I already said that, and I mean, like that's just how odd my family is, and I don't know if that's common or what, but you know what, I really do hope that it's not a common one, but I really hope that you have a better family than I have, and that's just about it. And I don't know. Wait a second, you know what, I have social script, so I have to, I don't know, good. You know what, the fact that I knew that she never, and here's the thing, this, you know what, I think I knew why she never want to help us. I knew, like I said, this is my fourth time to say that. You know what, I think I will count how many times that I will say that there's one thing that I cannot share with you guys, or I will ever share with you guys. But I think that's one thing is the roots of all of this, and you know that just showed us how big it is, and that's might be the reason why my mom never helped us, or maybe why she never loved us in the first place, because that thing happened, and there's nothing I can do about it, and you know that sucks, but that's just how it goes, and I don't know, the fact that I cannot recall being loved or being hurt or being hugged by my parents also make me proud of myself that if I ever become mom, or even become, or even have a kids, I thought to myself that, and I mean, like I make this phone a lot I don't know when I make this, but I do really remember when I thought to myself that I will hold and love my kids with all of us. I mean, like with with all of them, all of my how I oh my God. I mean, like I will love them. I will hug them. I give them hug and maybe give them kisses and tell them how much I love them. But I mean, I will do that so much that it will it will pay back what I lost, and I don't know. Well, there I'm doing that. I will also still teaching them how to behave because I knew that I still. I mean, as a parent, I do believe that to teaching your kids to become a better person on society and else is the main reason why. I mean, that's the main what project I would say as a parents, and that's cannot be left behind. And God, that sounds really hard already. But you know what? It's okay because it will not happen. So yeah, I know I sound really bitchy right now, but that's how I felt. I'm sorry, but that's that's just how I felt, and I think that's two. That's the two main reasons why I don't have any ideas. Don't have any goals on my living anymore. And you know what? I don't know. I somehow really lost it, and I mean, like I don't have. Well, yes, I. It's not that I. I mean, like yes, I lost my goals on having kids and anything, and I never seek one also. So, and now you're wondering what the fuck that I will do in my living. Why do I fucking live? Even why? You know what? I also asked that myself a lot, and the reasons why I seek nothing to do in my life anymore because simply because I'm just tired of it. I really am, and I don't. I just want to end it. Let's just say it. I mean, like there's also I don't know how to say this. How I don't know how that this. And I mean, like it is such a a tough decision. I mean, not a tough decision, but tough thing to say. The fact that I'm always contemplating about suicide and stuff. I have to say that I do have suicide stuff, not a suicide attempt, yeah, but I'm just saying that that's there, they are there, but that's all of it. I mean, like that just they're just stuff. I hope. I mean, like the only thing that's keep me living to this day is because I knew that if I killed myself, I knew that I will make things worse for my family, and I know that if I if I have ever killed myself, I knew that my dad will come with me. I mean, like I knew that I'm not killing him, but I knew that with his condition right now, I knew that if one more thing happened and I knew that he will lose anything, and that's just how it goes. I mean, like it is it is hard. I mean, like well, you know what? Nobody knew what might happen. I mean, like I cannot guarantee you if I kill myself, I will. I or my dad will also not survive. I don't know, but I just don't want to risk it anymore because life is hard. It is as it is right now. Then I'm not going to risk more of it, and just not to make things worse, and just keep living as it is. And I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, like, my let's be real. I mean, like, with my dad's illness that cannot be cured, just mean one thing is, and I'm just trying to outlive him. I really am, but I don't know how long it will take, and I don't really want to know how long it will take, because I mean, like, I don't really know about my dad really feel, because he his spine he seems to have to kind of way to sometimes he's shown us. I mean, like, not really shown us, maybe because I seen two sides of him on this matter, and the one says that on one side he seems like to giving up, and he knew that he only have maybe just have a couple years ahead of him, and that's about it. And there's also one side that 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 that's that 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 said that he is shown to me that he just want to survive. I mean, like, he want to achieve something. There's something that he wants to achieve that I knew that it is a big one. And I mean, like, that's that's just about it, and that's that. And but living that with that situation, I mean, like, in this situation, I don't really have many option. You know what? I know, and I have nothing to look forward to, and I'm I also cannot end it anyway. So then how the fuck that I have to supposed to live? And yeah, I don't know. I just live, just I don't know, just to live. I think everything. I don't know. And you know what? Why I'm not here saying I knew that I said that I have suicide stuff, just and that's just it, because I I hate pain so much. I really do, because I knew if I make an attempt, I will feel a lot of pain, and I hate it so much that it makes me live. I think it's such a simple logic and such a stupid one, but I'm still glad that there's still that's one reason why I did not do any attempt. And well, I'm glad, and I have to say that I'm scared that there's one day that I somehow become brave enough to do that, and I'm not looking forward to it, I really don't, but and that's just about it. And that's another thing that I think I really don't really need to bring up, but I will bring it up anyway, because the hell, this is my podcast, I can do whatever I want. And remember when I said that I don't want to get married and when I have kids? So with with that with that thing in my mind, then I'm not. I mean, like, if I don't want to have a kids or get married, and then what's the point of having a relationship and falling in love then? I mean, like, that's just about it. I mean, like, I somehow I and somehow I mean, like, I feel bad for if there's somebody that I am in relationship, and I mean like I'm in my age, relationships seems to be taking not not as easy as it's not as easy as maybe what I'm trying to say that when someone in relationship in my age in their 20s, they're start they're starting to think more about starting more family and having kids and all of that, and when I'm not having any of that, when I don't want any of that, and I just it's it just seems pointless why somebody want to fall in love with it and having a relationship with me, because there's nothing to it. I mean like that's that's my that's my explain why I might be alone or lonely for the rest of my life, and yeah, that sucks. and also I'm broke as hell, and I cannot get any approval from my mom or my dad to get a dog or a cat. So yeah, I'm screwed. So that's just how it goes, and life goes on, and yeah. I don't know. I think I mentioned this somewhere in this podcast, but I said that I tried a lot of things, and for this podcast I tried to write and follow a script, and that's about it. I mean like thanks to I'm sorry that I don't remember your name, but there's one person that kindly give me what is it called, for a comment on the second podcast where I said that I kind of feel lost and such, and that friend, that one person, I will mention you in I mean like in the blog post, and I'm sorry I cannot mention you in this podcast because I forgot your name, but and that's thing happened. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I don't know if she or he, but I think it's a she. She recommended me to try to use manuscript or a script to follow, because it will help a lot more. So yeah, and this is what I do. I try to write a script and try to follow it as long as I can. And for fuck's sake, I read a script. I don't know, and I don't know how a script should be right, but you know what? I have a whole 4 pages, not a full 4, but 3 full pages full of things that I need to say, and I think that's not it. I think that's not how it should goes, but that's just what I do. So yeah, that's thing. Also, thank you for that someone that I forgot your name, and I'm sorry that I cannot mention you, but I promise I will mention your name in my blog post. So thank you for the suggestion, and I hope that this podcast seems much better than the last one. So thank you for your suggestion again. And also this, I don't know, my mom is out of town for a few weeks, I think, because her family emergency, and I'm okay with it this time. So yeah, I will try to record more podcasts, and I don't know what I will talk about. Maybe more about my problems, because I didn't like talking about them, because I don't really have any friend to talk. But you know what? You know all of this yet, okay? So yeah, and maybe all of you can give me some suggestion about what should I talk about, or maybe what you want to know about me more, and I might do it. I mean like I'm open for that. I'm open for that, all of that. So yeah. And maybe that's it for today. I mean, like, it's been a whole an hour and a half of me talking about this thing, and it is such a heavy thing to say, and for God's sake, it is really, I don't know if there's someone to talk. I mean, like, there's somebody to that can listen for this long, and if there are some, thank you for accompanying me in this journey, if I say. I don't know. And I do, oh my god, I really hope that this recording sounds much better. You know what? So I don't really have to record it all over again. So yeah. And even if there's nobody to listen to, I am thankful for you, I guess. I mean, like, that's just my life, but being not noticed and having nobody to say, but you know, I mean, like, jokes aside, I mean, like, thank you for any of you that come accompanying me in this podcast. And if you have any opinion or even any suggestion, please feel free to to talk about it. I mean, like, to comment it down below. And as usual, I also open for any conversation or discussion or anything. I mean, like, so feel free to contact me or hit me up. So yeah, that's it for today. So